Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's wake up the football gods and get open for business. Okay. All right, so we are exactly 130 days, 3 hours, 58 minutes, and 50 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season. And some people are already partying and thinking that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Philly500, how you doing, man?
I've been partying straight for 48 hours. I haven't slept. We just had the most amazing draft. I am doing great. How you doing, Mark? Thank you for having me. What's happening?
I'm just checking in on you and seeing how you're doing, because it's like the tale of two cities between you and the stinking Giant fan. Now, did you hear about... Okay, now, it's bad when your GM has to go on and defend picking a quarterback. You know, your number one pick, your future of your franchise, literally. And then it's even worse when one of your draft picks gets shot.
I didn't hear about that. Somebody got shot?
One of the Giants, yes, off of campus. Unfortunately, the other teammate of his got killed.
I didn't even hear this.
It happened, it's Corey Balstein. He got shot. Now, he said his injuries are not life-threatening. His teammate, actually, Dwayne Simmons, got killed. So, I mean, it's just like the Giants got that black cloud that's hanging over them.
Well, I have a theory on the Giants. Would you like me to share it with you?
Yeah, let's hear the theory on the Giants.
We have gone into an alternate reality because back, and I'm being honest, back, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, maybe even earlier, it used to be where I'd go on YouTube and I would see screaming, crying Eagle fans, all upset, pissed off about everything the team's doing all the wrong moves, right? And then I would see the Giants winning Super Bowl and stability, right? Giants have stability winning Super Bowls. Now, it's like the Eagle fans are the stable ones, and the Giant fans are losing it all on YouTube and everywhere. They're going nuts. And they should. What a horrific draft by the Giants.
You know, this is, because I've actually talked about this before, because it's Mirror, Mirror from Star Trek. I don't know, any of you Star Trek trackies out there, the original Star Trek, where they ended up getting caught up in this, alternate universe, and there was evil Spock and stuff with the beard and the goatee and stuff, and there was just everything was backwards. Okay, so yeah, I can see that point. That's the perfect analogy, because wow, when we were at we were at Lucky's, and when they picked the stinking Giant fan, Daniel who? was his response, and we were all like, "Wow!" So that's interesting to say the least. So they're a rudderless ship right now. I don't know how their GM keeps their job, but then again, I don't know how Jason Garrett keeps his. So I can't really talk.
I had to post my reaction video to that because I was so. I was like before the draft, please Daniel Jones, please take Daniel Jones. I never thought they would do it. They did, and I just lost it. It was great. It was classic, man.
All right, so I was paying attention to my Dallas Cowboys, of course, and I didn't put a whole lot of stock in what your Eagles were doing, because, like I said, dealing with Cowboy fans and your Eagle trolls and everything else, it's a full-time job right there, and for me to try and figure out what you guys did. So tell me, apparently you're partying. So are you breaking out the bottle of champagne right now?
I am, dude. I've been so happy with this draft. Now I may not, not all Eagle fans may agree with me, but I felt like coming into this draft. Yeah, I felt like coming into this draft. When you looked at what they did in free agency, and then you looked at the visits that they were having. Okay, it became very clear to me that they were going to go offense early and often because they wanted to provide some stability and some guys with Carson Wentz to grow with for the future. And the best way to do that is a draft. So I was not surprised. The Eagles went offensive tackle in the first round. Made a lot of sense. You got Jason Peters, who was getting older. And they had a guy who they said was ranked top 10 on their board, was still there. And Houston apparently was going to take him. They jumped Houston. They took him. And then they come back and they got one of the top guys I wanted in the whole draft was Miles Sanders, the running back from Penn State. And they take him in the second round, which, I was very happy about that. And then they get a receiver, J.J. something Whiteside.
Right.
I didn't know much about him, but from what I've seen, he looks like he's got a lot of talent. Kind of like an Alshon type guy. And so they went first 3 picks. They went offense. They went running back, wide receiver in the second, and they went a left tackle, offensive tackle in the first. It's exactly what they needed to do by position, in my opinion.
And so this has got you thinking your Super Bowl team again?
Well, I think we were a Super Bowl contender before that. But I think what this does is it provides us with some parts to grow on. I mean, look, you have Jordan Howard's here as our running back. He's going to be a free agent next year. He probably won't be back. But now you have somebody that will be ready to go, get a year experience. So you've got an offensive tackle who gets to come in and learn behind Jason Peters. I love that. So he's going to get a whole year to learn. He may play at some point if Peters gets hurt. But you have offensive tackle for the future now. And then you get another wide receiver. Alshon's 30, Deshaun's 32 years old. You get a receiver, you bring him in. So I like what they did because it wasn't just about this year for the Eagles. It was more about the future on offense and stability around Carson.
Did you guys get a quarterback to take care of the walking wounded that is Carson?
Well, not to take care of him. We got a developmental quarterback. Now, this is not to replace Carson. The Eagles do this every few years. They did it with Andy Reid.
Wait. Hasn't your quarterback missed 13 games over the last 2
years?
Yeah,
he was hurt. He was hurt. Yes, he was hurt. Yes, he was hurt. Was it 13 games? Are you including playoffs?
Yes, 13 games, including playoffs.
Yes, and we've been back. We've been over this before. He had a torn ACL. Came back from a torn ACL. That takes time. You can't hold what happened to him last year against. Oh, come on.
He's made of glass.
But I can say your quarterback's eating too much yogurt. He's fat on those stupid yogurt commercials.
Yeah, but he's not tearing ACLs and having broken backs and everything, is he?
And he still can barely put up the same numbers as Carson with 5 more games.
Lordy.
Come on.
Okay, you know who's second by 1 game to 1? Tom Brady over the course of the last 3 years. Do you know who that is?
Of what?
In wins.
Of yogurt commercials?
No, wins.
Oh, well, that's a team thing. Wins is a team thing. It's not just about fact.
You know what?
Come on.
I love how you guys will change the narrative on
stuff. We're not changing the narrative.
Because you know what really pisses me off? Because, see, back 2 years ago when I said, you know what, we lost Zeke Elliott for 6 games. Oh, you can't count that, man. You know, you guys lost him and everything else. It's the next man up. Then talking to some of your brethren out there, especially the Atlanta Falcon dude and all that and stuff. Oh, we had injuries. We lost this guy. Oh, it's like, wait. We lose our franchise back. Oh no, you can't count that. But other teams, of course, they're gonna say, oh, well, you can't. It's not my fault that your quarterback is a candy ass and can't stay on the field.
Candy ass. My ass. The guy leg almost fell off. The guy played with a cracked back for most of the year and still
because he can't take a hit.
Because nobody was protected. Everybody was coming out.
Okay. And my quarterback had great protection. He literally made about $10 million for Claiborne because of Chad Green.
Your quarterback was struggling. He was on the cliff's edge until you got Amari Cooper who bailed him out. Come on, dude. Come on.
But I tell you what. But I hate to say it, though. The way you describe what your draft did, because I got Cowboy fans that literally were like, the season's over, we're done, we're throwing the towel. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's right. We have a lot of talent on the field. We can basically say we've got somebody that you are okay with starting it pretty much everywhere. Right. You'd like to upgrade, of course. You always want to upgrade. But there wasn't a spot that you say that, oh, my God, we really have a major hole that you got to get somebody. So they were kind of forward-thinking like you guys were because, to me, I've always liked the big beast in the middle. And that Tristan Hill, 6'3", 308 pounds. They have him as a 3 technique, but I'm thinking you could put another 10 pounds on him with those wheels he have and make him a 1 technique beast. And then all of a sudden you've got DeMarcus Lawrence hopefully healthy, Robert Quinn, and you get him and say Tyrone Crawford or one of the other guys up in there pushing in the middle, or Antoine Woods, that's going to be a hell of a battle against you guys. But in looking at then our second round, we took Conor McGregor. Sounds like a mixed martial arts fighter, and I don't know what it is. The Cowboys that now we got dual names and almost everything here. We got two Conors, but in a way of looking and saying this guy's a pretty good guard that he could be plugged in now, and maybe if Lyle Collins, whose contract is up after this year, you let him walk. Well, you go ahead and take Connor Williams, put him out there, and Connor as a guard. So it's kind of like plugging some holes. And I feel that we actually have depth for the first time all across the board. I'm still worried about my cornerbacks a little bit and stuff, but we got Michael Jackson who's going to make you guys beat it.
Bill Jean is not his lover.
He's going to be a thriller out there, man. The interesting thing for me is I'm seeing Chris Richard imprint on a lot of the defensive moves because we said we'd like to upgrade at safety.
Yeah.
And we had Juan Thornhill right there, which was a guy they were really high on. But it turns out that Chris Richard was like, no, man, I want Tristan Hill instead. So he's pretty high on the guys that he has, and is definitely we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So, any early predictions on your record for next year, or is it just too soon? Too soon.
Yeah, 12. I think we're 12-14. If everybody stays healthy,
12-14. Is that what you said? 12-14.
12-4. 12-4. Or 13-3. I think we're right around there. And I got Dallas about 10 and 11 wins right behind us.
So that wasn't a cigar you were holding. That was a big ass.
Oh, that was
big, right?
bogey, man.
That's a big. How many blunts?
No, I can't. I don't.
13-3.
Last time I smoked pot,
Carson Wentz's not going to play more than 10 of those games.
God, he's playing 16, but he's playing maybe 15 because they're going to sit him the last week.
Oh, Lord.
Carson's playing. He's going to be healthy this year. Mark my words. Mark my words.
13-3 is what
12-4, 13-3, somewhere around there is what I think the Eagles.
With that schedule that you have.
Yeah, with that schedule. And I think you guys are about 10 and 11 wins, and then I think the Giants and Redskins stink.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Don't smoke cocaine.
You smoking something, man. Come on, man. I mean, listen, I'm a homer here, and I'm not going to even go that high on my own team either.
I think that's an accurate prediction.
Granted, we both have 4 wins between the Giants and the Redskins.
Yeah, that's 4 wins right off the bat.
That's 4 wins right there.
That's 4 wins.
Although the Redskins, they didn't, they plugged some holes and things like that. But
Redskins had a great draft.
Yeah, they did, but they're still Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins, and it's not. It wasn't a draft for next year. Their draft will really impact them in like 3 years. Mm-hmm. I think 2-3 years down the road, then you can see the fruits of this draft.
I got to tell you, even though Murray is actually a local kid, he did not look happy about going to Washington, but I would kind of fear for my career because it seems like the Washington Redskins, and it's not like I think they consciously try to screw people over, but for whatever reasons, quarterbacks go there and their career is just about killed. You're lucky. Yeah. It's like the movie Get Out. Kirk Cousins was lucky to get out, and Brad Johnson was lucky to get out. But other than that, I mean, you took Donovan McNabb and made him, tossing his cookies every week.
Trent Green, too, right?
Oh, Trent Green was Jason Campbell, he was a decent quarterback. I saw Jason Campbell years later, and he was like, man, the Redskins took years off my career, man. Screw them people. Yeah. I mean, it's just the chuck and duck, and it's just poor Alex Smith, a guy who never really got injured, boom, he's just gone. One and done, RG3. Yeah. So I can understand Murray not being happy about going to the Washington Redskins. So, all right. So, your rookies will be in sometime next week, and we'll start having rookie workouts and OTAs.
Right,
and
mini camps, OTAs are coming. Man. It's going to come quick, man. The season's going to come quick. And it's going to be exciting. I'm like super pumped about this season. It's going to be Eagles, Cowboys, head to head this year. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be it's going to be like old school, football too. It's going to be tough, because you look at our lines, because that's where it seems like right now it's kind of like the Cold War, and we're just building up defense and offensive lines, and it's going to get crazy out there in those battles. Forget about watching the wide receivers, but look at the battles that are going to happen in the trenches.
Oh, yeah, those games will be won in the trenches. There's no question about it.
Yeah, this is almost like when I was growing up type of football. All right, Philly, everybody go over and subscribe to my man Philly500, and when you do go over there, make sure you give him some crap. Tell him that he's smoking some crack when he thinks the Eagles are going 13-3.
Vitamins.
13-3 is his. You know, I'm gonna put that as the headline. Crazed Eagle fan believes 13-3 after draft.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it, because that way after the season's over, everybody's gonna say, "Dude, this Philly500, it's a genius." The genius.
Yeah, and then it ends up being 3-13. It's going to be like, what a dingbat.
Then I'm going to have to eat a lot of crap.
Like I said, man, that's putting yourself out there on blast, man.
Well, I mean, I think 12-3, 13-3 is what I think they're going to do. It's what I honestly think. I got to be honest. I mean, if there's injuries, if Carson goes down again or something like that, obviously it changes. But if everybody stays healthy, I think
I'll say 11-5 for my Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah,
I feel good.
10, 6,
I mean, we got a tough schedule. We're home away, every week. So you guys got that stretch where you got 3 games on the road, and then you got a couple of rough games when you come back. So
fortunately, a couple of those real tough games for us are at home, and I think that helps. Like the Chicago Bears game's home, New England's at home, Seattle's at home, and I think that helps us a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what's amazing here, as I go ahead and let you get out of here, is when I got this clock, it was at 226 days. We're down to 130. 100 days have almost gone by just like that. So it's coming really, really quick, and I got to tell you,
come
I
quick.
can't wait.
I cannot wait.
All right, guys.
Too.
So make sure you go over, give Philly500 a hard way to go. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you guys soon.